Right, without Jamil, what you sort of expected the offensive adjustment to be, and what did the guys not do in making that adjustment?
Well, we didn't make shots. I thought coming in, this was a physical team. The numbers show it. They're really good defensively, so I knew it was going to be, a rock fight in there. It's going to be some tough plays that had to be made around the basket. But I thought what hurt us was just giving them second chance opportunities on the offensive glass, and that's where those guys get energized at, getting offensive rebounds, getting turnovers. I thought we did a solid job of taking care of the ball. We did that. We didn't turn the ball over, but the second chance opportunities and just being undisciplined defensively and fouling those guys and putting them on the free throw line, that's where they made up for where they didn't make field goals.
In terms of your shooting, I mean, did you think they were missing good shots, or just getting themselves in trouble with not good?
We had some tough ones. I thought we were a bit rushed a little bit. We didn't play with the poise we needed to play with once we cracked the paint, once we got to the paint. I thought there were opportunities for us to get in there, draw two, and kick, and we was going to the basket. They got their hands on some balls against us, and it's something we talk about all the time. It's just sharing the ball, getting in there, kicking it to the next guy, and having that next guy make that play, and we didn't do a great job of that today.
Yeah, you mentioned, right, this seemed like a game where the refs could have called 30 fouls.
Yeah.
They didn't. They chose to call a lot less. And are you talking through like Caleb, constantly getting in there and maybe thinking he's drawing contact on a lot of plays, but then not getting calls? How do you get him into, through that into good shots?
We talked about it. I mean, it's part of the game. I thought it was a physical game. I thought it was some calls they should have made. I thought it was some calls they shouldn't have made. But that's part of it, and my focus is to make sure I keep my guys focused and stay aggressive. If you want to get to the free throw line on our side of it, you got to stay aggressive and continue to establish that you're going to try to get paint touches and get to the rim.
Was Jamil, was his sort of was that a long-standing issue with the thumb? How did that come about where this week it was?
It was something that's been bothering him since the beginning of the season. His thumb was bothering him a lot, and tough kid. He played through it, but it got to the point where we had to address it and get something done about it, because it got to the point where he couldn't even hold a pencil in his hand, squeeze a pencil in his hand, and we didn't want it to be an injury that he's got to deal with later on in his life.
Okay, did he aggravate it, especially anything at the Penn game?
Well, he aggravated it every game.
Okay.
I guess nobody really saw it, but he aggravated it each game. I mean, if he would get a dunk, if he would get a rebound, it was just hard for him to really squeeze the ball.
And how are you working through, right? So Core jumped into starting lineup today. Ema got minutes then, and then Nick. And you played two bigs a little bit more tonight than usual. How are you kind of, working around that? What the lineup's going to be?
Feel. Wanted to make sure we had some size in there against these guys, because they play two bigs a lot, and again, what they do well, what they do best, what helps them win basketball games is offensive rebound the ball. So I wanted to make sure we had size on size with those guys and just play with that same sort of physicality with them. So it's going to be, I feel, and through committee with Core, with Nick, with Ema.
It seemed like maybe it was a 4 or 5 minute stretch to roughen the little point guard for them.
Yeah.
You guys just ended up starting chasing him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he found something, either an alley-oop or right. Anything in particular, like you see that coming, or you guys, seemed like had him under control and had them under control?
Yeah, I thought it started. He made a big 3-point shot in the first half, and that just kind of opened the basket up for those guys. I thought we were pretty good defensively and playing against their set offense. He made a shot, and they put the ball in his hands because you could tell they were just scrambling and looking for something to happen for those guys. And he came off the bench and he made a few shots, made a few plays for them, and got to the free throw line for them, and was able to give them some separation this afternoon.
Are your guys, this was first true road game.
Yeah.
I don't know, were you almost wary to, you might, Penn's on the road, but right, you had a ton of fans there. Is it right? You guys ended up shooting 30%, your lowest game of the season. You got to be sort of aware of that when you go on the first true road game like that. And again, work for better shots, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you typically, when you go on the road, you want to attack and you want to get to the free throw line. You want to do those things to kind of settle you. Again, this is a really good defensive team. They're gonna guard you. They got good size, good length, good athleticism, so they're gonna make it hard for you. So we tried to do what we do, and it didn't work, and we tried to make some adjustments, and we just didn't make shots, and sometimes that's part of it, but that's not the only determining factor in winning basketball games. So now you gotta pick up and do some other things. Get to the offensive glass, get out in transition and try to get some easy baskets, get to the free throw line, and we didn't do enough of it.
Are you getting to where Hazier's now been, right? He's point guard for we're almost halfway into the season, somewhat, where he's got to take a little more charge, right? Damian and Caleb have a lot of go in them, right? And a lot is designed for them to go and make some happen. Does he got to take more charge of the possession by possession, particularly crunch time, that kind of thing?
I think he's learning. He's a sophomore, so he doesn't have a ton of college basketball experience. He's learning as we go, and trying to use his voice more, trying to lead more, and I want him to manage games, but take his opportunities when they present. Learn how to set the table for those guys to help them along. So it's a work in progress, and unfortunately, it's his job and what he has to do.
Yeah, when he can do that, is that going to get you guys over the hump a little bit in a sense?
I think so. We got a lot of time. I think a lot of our wounds are self-inflicted. We wanted to come and have a good defensive effort here. I thought we did that. We just ran into some problems trying to score the ball, and they had a segment where was it a turnover? Got a turnover or a block shot or something. They got out and got some dunks and got some easy baskets. And we wanted to, call timeout. We wanted to try to take that away. But we just didn't score when we needed to.
Thanks.
All right.